Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, May 7th, 2021. We are in the final day of the trading week, and we are now in the final hour of the trading day. The last hour of the trading day is my favorite time to make my buying and selling decisions for my swing trades because the large financial institutions who are dealing with the most money have very smart people, best information, best technology. In that last hour, they start taking control away from the price, taking control of the price away from the day traders and the algorithms. And in the long run, I feel like making your buying and selling decisions at the end of the day at the levels that the large financial institutions move the price to is a long-term edge in your trading. So thank you all for coming. It's nice to see everyone. I hope you have all had a good week. It's been kind of a crazy trading week, and we have 1 hour left until the market closes, and then we can enjoy the weekend and Mother's Day. So happy upcoming Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there and all the hard work that they do. Taking care of kids, a lot of work. So hope you enjoy your Mother's Day. So, all right. Currently, the Dow is up 204 points, up 0.59%. The NASDAQ is up 125 points, up 0.92%, and the S&P is up 29.83, up 0.71%. So the NASDAQ getting the best of it today. So I appreciate you coming today. I really do. I appreciate you spending your time here, investing your time here. I hope that by doing so, it is helping you learn some good trading and investing principles. So here is the plan for today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. I did have a couple day trades today, only on VIX. I was a VIX specialist today, so I had some day trades on VIX. I will share those with you. After that, we'll go over to the board and we'll take a look and see how my students' positions are doing over there. I'm looking over there right now. It looks pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4 winners, 1 loser. So that's pretty good. So we'll look at those. We'll see how those are doing. After that, we'll talk about trader psychology. As you know, favorite part of the podcast for me because it's the most important. The skill of developing discipline, managing your emotions, that is the number one skill that you need in trading. It really is. Yes, you have to learn how to read charts. You have to learn about support, resistance levels, exits, entries, trailing stops, all the stuff I talk about. It's important. I don't want to take away from it, but what's really important, what supersedes all of this is the ability to create a plan and then follow the plan. We all know how to lose weight. We eat less. We eat better foods. We exercise. We know how to do it. But is it still hard to do? Yes, it is, because our emotions get the best of us. So it's very similar to losing weight. We all want to do it, or some people want to do it, right? We all want to make money in the markets, but we have to manage our emotions. So that's why I like to talk about trader psychology. After that, I have gone down through my watch list. I have gone down through the results of Kamal Scanner. I have 3 requirements whenever I'm looking to enter a new trade. Number 1, I need to have a good confluence or combination of indicators lining up on multiple time frames. Number 2, I have to have a good risk to reward ratio, at least 2-to-1, based upon strong and valid support below me for my stop and strong and likely resistance above me as my profit targets when I start to do the math and see if I have a 2-to-1 ratio. But minimum 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, better. All right. And then lastly, I need to have a complete trading plan, meaning that I need to position size based upon current market volatility. I need to know where my emergency stops are, where my end of day stops are, where my intraday profit targets are, where my significant resistance levels are. And also I need to have a trailing stop protocol or rules in place so that I don't give back all of my profits if I have a winning trade. All right. So that's what I'm going to look for. Those 3 requirements. There are quite a few end of day candidates. So we'll go through each one. I'll try to narrow it down to just the very best one before the end of the day. And then I'll take the trade before the market closes, if there is one. After the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please don't be shy. Just let me know. I'm happy to answer them for you. If there are any stock symbols that you would like me to look at today before the market closes, go ahead, put them in the chat, put an emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive, and I will do my best to get to it before the close. And then lastly, if any of my students have any new entries or exits they would like me to update on the board, if you could please wait till after the market closes so that the pressure's off. I'm done teaching, I'm done trading, and then we'll spend as much time as we need to get those all updated before we get on with the weekend. Okay, so that's the plan. Hang tight. I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thank you. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who's here today. Paxton is here. Good to see you, Packy. Hope you and Tracy are doing well. Zing. I'm just going to call you Zing. All right, sorry about that. Good to see you again. I appreciate you coming back. I hope you are having a nice day or evening. Lava74 is here. Good to see you, Lava. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Proud of you. Kamal is here. Good chatting with you earlier, Kamal. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. I appreciate it. I'm sure everyone else does with the scanner, and always appreciate your friendship. Dan is here. Happy Friday to Dan. Good to see you, Mr. Dan. Hope you're doing well. Steve Burns is here. Steve, thank you for coming as always. Always an honor, always a privilege to have you here, and appreciate everything that you do for this channel as well. Hope you, Holly, and the dogs are doing well. Lava has an analysis for us. Cold bounce at the 200. Also a false breakout V1 with a green bar on high volume. It still needs to close above the 50 SMA. Weekly is a concern, but is staying above the 50 SMA and 50 RSI. All right, well, let's take a look-see. Cold. Americold Realty Trust. Not bad. I mean, it is a V1. It is back over the 50-day moving average. There's a lot. I mean, look at this. This is just straight down, right? I mean, I would take a straight down intraday rejection at the 200-day moving average. I would do that, but this little bounce right here seems more like a dead cat bounce to me than about anything. But that is my take. I could be 100% wrong. Steve says 1 hour until weekend o'clock. There you go. Miko says good afternoon, and good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Hello, Miko. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Steve says VIX chart crushed today. Yes, the VIX is getting crushed today, so no 1030 EMA crossover. Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Thank you for your poems. Thank you for everything that you do for this channel. Hope you are doing well, my friend. And Jonathan is also here. Evening, Greg and group. Good to see you, Jonathan. Hope you are having a nice evening over there in Ireland. Okay, so, well, let's get started. Okay, here we go. This is a trade that Gary and I took. This is on the weekly time frame on AGQ. Return to value, sideways motion inside the value zone, false breakout to the downside, under 50 SMA, over 50 SMA, under the 50 RSI, over the 50 RSI. Lots of good stuff going on here. Bought this at 43.96. It's 51.50. It's up 12.47% just this week, and total on the trade 14.56. And I did hit two profit targets this week, 48.53 and 51.27, where I offloaded and took a percentage of my shares off. But this has been a great trade. Doesn't look like I have to do anything with this at the end of the week. Today's the end of the week, Friday, and this is normally where I'd make my weekly decisions, but this looks great. No problems at all. Goldman Sachs has been a monster trade. I took Goldman Sachs all the way back here with the 520 crossover at 335.28 with the 520. Moved up, took some profits, had one big bar down that unfortunately got me out of half, but it was a precautionary measure. If I take a 520 crossover and then I get a close below both the 5 and the 20, or the 10 and the 50, whatever crossover I'm using, I sell half as a precautionary measure. But the good news is I kept the other half. And look at this trade. Unreal. It's 73.54. It just keeps moving up. I did hit another profit target today at 369.47. Entry to current close on this about 9.68%, and it is above the 70 RSI. So if we lose the 70, I'll sell half, and then if I get a close below the previous day's low, I'll sell half. Alternatively, if it closes below the 5 EMA, I will get out of everything. But this has been a monster trade. Honeywell. All right. Paxton, David, Frank, and myself did take Honeywell with this return to value. Sideways motion. False breakout to the downside. Bullish engulfing bar. 520 crossover. V1. Bought this at 225.14. It's currently 228.70, up just a little bit today. No profit targets, but this trade so far in the last 3 days up a respectable 1.54%. All right, Microsoft. Tracy and Paxton, David, Jonathan, I did take Microsoft yesterday with this false breakout to the downside. V1, rejection of the 50 EMA, bought it at 249.66. It's currently 253.33. It's up 1.44%. Did hit two profit targets, one today at 251.65, another at 253.57. So far, so good. It is holding above the 50 RSI. If it closed below the 50 RSI today, I would get out of half. My stop here is basically the 50 EMA, but up 1.44% today, not too shabby. SPY, of course, I buy the SPY every day at the close. I hold it overnight. I sell it first thing the next morning. That's exactly what I did last night. I bought it at 419.07. I sold it at the open at 419.85. So, yeah. What is that? 7.85. Yeah, so 77 cents. Good. Nice big breakout today, although look at this. We have double tops with bearish divergences. No green to be found here. That's a little concerning for me. But I will buy this again at the close, hold it over the weekend, sell it first thing the next morning, a Monday morning, excuse me. David, Paxton, and Tracy and I did take UNG on the monthly. This is a longer term trade here on the monthly bars. I bought it at 10.52. It's currently 10.62, so it's up 1.05% for the month. So not too much, but better than nothing. All right. Now, I did have some day trades on VIX today. First one was right here. We start to build a base. We had a move down, then we had a V2, so we had a false breakout to the downside and a V2. MACD was positive at the time I bought it, which was probably the main reason I bought it. I bought it at 73.53, had a big up bar here, sold it at I bought it at 37.53. I sold half at 37.65 on a big move up, had another big bar up, sold half at 37.79. And then had a close below the previous day's low at 37.57. And then when we got back to break even, that's when I got out of all of it. So got in at 37.53, 37.57, 37.65, and 37.79. And then I had another trade over here where this bar went under 30 over 30, but I didn't take it. I didn't think that was enough. Then this one went under 30 over 30 with the V1. I bought it here at 37.32, had a move up, sold at 37.43, had another move up, sold at 37.54. And then over here, I didn't mark that, but when it got back to my break even, that's when I got out, which I'm glad I did. So nice profitable trade, nice two profitable trades on VIX for the day trades. All right. Let's go and take a look at your trades. So Steve, Kamal, Paxton and Tracy, and Frank, very nice, very nice. Bought SCCO yesterday with the 520 crossover at 72.93, up at 76.81, up 5.48% today. Wow, what a huge move. And so congratulations to Steve, Kamal, Paxton, Tracy, and Frank. Way to go. IBB. Also Steve and Kamal is in this as well, right? You just told me that, Kamal, right? Did I not put this up here? All right, so Steve and Kamal did buy IBB with the nice intraday rejection of the 200-day. This is a deep dip buy bounce. They bought it at 148.21. It's currently 149.99, up 1.06%. So excellent, way to go. Pets, Gary bought Pets at 29.49 with this bullish engulfing bar, V1. Looks like under 30, over 30. And so this has been an excellent trade here on Pet Meds. It is down a little bit today, but it is still up on the trade. So congratulations, Gary. CIEN, Tracy and Paxton bought CIEN. Ooh, great trade. Deep dip buy, under 200, over 200. Bought it at 51.35. Next day, tested the 200, but held, so that means it's a keeper. And this has moved up nicely. It's up another 1.85% today. And Tracy and Paxton are up 4.74% on this trade. Sweet. And then lastly, ELY. This is Frank. This has been a beautiful trade. Frank bought here, higher low V1, bullish engulfing bar, 27.75. It's 31.45, up 1.65% today after yesterday's huge move. Excuse me. This trade is up 11.7% today. So way to go. Steve says ANGI, bearish engulfing candle today is a whopper. Yes, it is. Did hold the 30 RSI, did reject the 250, did reject the 200 as well. That's kind of a quandary there when you have that bearish of a bar, but then you did find some support as well. Steve says BIDU is holding the 30 RSI zone. Yep, it's holding right there, isn't it? Yesterday it held, today it held. BYND, right over an oversold cliff today. Look at that. 7.33% down today. Wow. Jonathan has Shopify. I do have Shop. Let's see. Shop looks pretty good. Shop looks pretty good with the close under, close back over. Let me write that one down. I have that, but I didn't do the numbers for it yet. All right. Yeah, it's good. Close under, close back over. Retested it again today. Is up today. Looks pretty good. Steve says INDA has a 1050 SMA crossover today. Yes, it does. That one's a little too high for me though. As far as ATR channels go, that's a little chasey for me. Kamal says, Greg, I am not in Cisco or SCCO, excuse me. All right. Sorry, I must have mistakenly put you on there. Paxton, okay. So sorry about that. I swear you guys told me that yesterday. I can't remember, but I wish you were in it. Qualcomm, return to value. Yeah, has a 520 crossover. There's a 50 SMA, 200 SMA support, weekly value zone above 50. Very good. Yeah, I like the weekly there. I don't know if anybody could test the 520 crossover, see if that works. I don't know that offhand. Frank has a poem for us. All right, let's see what Frank has to say today. And they're off. When did the market, and they're off. When did the market become a horse race? Stocks being bought before leaving the gate. Don't trade impulsively or simply on fate. Horses have sense, but people often learn too late. Boy, that's just nailed that one. Let's read that again. And they're off. When did the market become a horse race? Stocks being bought before leaving the gate. Don't trade impulsive or simply on fate. Horses have sense, but people often learn too late. Yes, we do. Wow, Frank. Just an amazing poem, as always. Thank you very much, my friend. I really enjoyed that, and I hope everyone else does. Dan says, Frank, good one. I 100% agree. It's not just a good one. It is an excellent one, right? It's just excellent. Okay. All right. Yeah, Qualcomm doesn't look too bad there. I don't know if anybody could test that for me, the 520, see if that one looks good or works out well. I do like the weekly. I like the consolidation. Or I like that we're back in the value zone for the last month. We've consolidated. Like Lova said, we're holding the 50 RSI on the weekly, and it does have a 520 crossover. Let's see. Lilia is here. Hi, Lilia. Good to see you. Hope you are doing well and having a nice day. Steve says Qualcomm 520 has a positive expectancy, 15.7% average with a 4.41% average loss. Win rate is 35%. Yeah, that one's not too shabby. Qualcomm is definitely not too shabby at all. All right. Well, we have a lot to look at, but listen, before we start taking a look at our end of day candidates and looking for all of our requirements and all that kind of stuff, let's talk a little bit about trader psychology. You know, I have my favorite Twitter and Facebook FinTwit channels that I look at, which provide great information on a daily basis, good trading words of wisdom. But of course, my favorite, as everybody knows, is Steve Burns. Here is Steve, and Steve is at @SJosephBurns on Twitter. So if you have not followed Steve on Twitter, please do so. It is definitely worthwhile. He puts out great information every day, and I read it and try to internalize it every day. In addition, he has great information over on his website, newtraderu.com, where he has online courses. He has great articles, great content. You can go to Amazon, read any of his many books that he has. Those books really changed my trading life around. So I want to thank you for that, Steve. But let's see what Steve has to say today. In trading, your biggest competition is your own bad decisions. So true. It really is true. And you know, a lot of people feel like you're battling the market, but you are not battling the market, everybody. You are battling yourself. That's your biggest competitor. You always think you're battling some guys in New York with, suspenders on and algorithms and all that kind of stuff. I mean, in a way you are, right? But really your biggest competitor is yourself. And what do I mean by that? You're competing and being challenged by your emotions all the time. You know what to do, but whether you do what you're supposed to do, that can be a coin flip sometimes, right? So just if you can kind of think about it, kind of transcend the idea that if you're struggling with, I kind of want to do this, but I probably shouldn't, it's easier just to tell yourself, look, I know I'm battling with myself right now. I don't know. I don't want to let this other guy win, right? You're the other side of you. It just make it a hard and fast rule that you only follow the rules. It will just take so much angst away from you. But like Steve says, in trading, your biggest competition is your own bad decisions, or are your own bad decisions. And, if you can stop making bad decisions, your life's going to be better in all aspects of your life, not just in trading. I think you know when something's a bad decision, right? Even if it's outside of trading, in business or whatever, right? Just do the right thing. Just say, I'm drawing this line. I don't cross this line. And your trading is going to be better. And the fewer bad things you do in trading, the other side of that equation is that your results are going to be better. It's just, that's what it is, right? So thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Appreciate everything that you do. And this was helpful for me. Like I said, when I do these psychology sections, it is for you, but it's also for me. We always teach what we mostly need to learn. So in trading, your biggest competition is your own bad decision. So let's all make good decisions. How about that? Done and done. All right. Okie dokie, Smokey. All right, so let's see how everything's doing here. AGQ doing great on the weekly. Goldman Sachs just powering up, very strong. Doesn't look like I have to do anything with this. Honeywell doing just fine. No profit targets today, but doing fine. Microsoft, all right, so 52.61 on the RSI. I will be watching this at the end of the day to see if it closes below the 50. If it did, I would have to take half off. So I will have to watch that, but so far so good. SPY very near its high today. Of course, I'm buying that at the close as well. And then UNG up 0.76%, but I did buy that on the monthly, and that is up about just under 1%. So I am good with that. Wow, VIX is just getting crushed today. My gosh. Unreal. All right, well, let's get started on some potential end of day trades, shall we? Here's IWM. This is the Russell 2000. These are the mid caps. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone, but kept going down. We have 1 day sideways motion, 2 day sideways motion. There was a V1 that happened yesterday. We do have a 520 cross on this today as well. So actually, the V1 happened yesterday. The 520 cross happened today, although the 520 cross does not backtest well if memory serves me. Let's take a look at the weekly. Weekly is in the value zone. I don't know. There was a signal yesterday. I feel like I'm kind of chasing it today. Netflix. All right. So we do have a close under and close back over the 250 day on Netflix. So that one is also a possibility. Very good risk to reward ratio there. The Qs, we do not quite have the 520 crossover. If we get the 520 crossover, that will be my next trade on the Qs. But I'm going to wait for confirmation of the 520 crossover before I get involved. SPCE has an under 30 over 30. It is up 2.71% today, but earnings are on the 10th, which is Monday. I believe they're in the morning, so can't take SPCE. Twitter, as you know, I'm just waiting for a rejection of the 200-day moving average. We got right to the 5 EMA, got rejected. We are under the 30 RSI as well, so I'm just waiting for a rejection of the 200-day moving average. So nothing for me today on Twitter. Love, Southwest Airlines has a nice V2 today. Higher low V2, false breakout to the downside. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 goes below day 1. Day 3 is closing above day 1's close. So this one is also a possibility. I'll move this over into the possibility section. PSTG has an under 30 over 30. It is under the negative third over the negative third, so this is a valid deep dip buy. Let's take a look at the weekly. Earlier in the day I liked it better. Let's see, the 200-day moving average is 1867, so we have rejected the 200-day on the weekly also, which is pretty good. MACD pretty strong there. I think I'm just going to let that one slide as well. Uber, under 200, over 200. It is over the 200. Good risk to reward ratio. We are at 28. 21 on the RSI, so we'll take a look at that. We'll keep that one. Shopify, nice little close under, close over, is up today, holding support at the 200, so this one becomes a possibility. Lilia pointed this one out to me earlier. This is NIO. This is a close under and close back over the 200-day. What I like about this one is the upward sloping 200-day moving average and the rejection of the -1 ATR channel. So that one is also a possibility. Tilray, false breakout to the downside and a V2. Don't like the gap on the V2, and the risk to reward ratio does not make sense to me. LYV, Live Nation Entertainment, had a big, huge up bar today, bullish engulfing bar, but nothing makes sense to me on this trade from a risk to reward ratio standpoint. DAR, Darling International. Well, there's a name for a company. It's a V2. Day 1's bar it's okay. Weekly looks fairly good. I think there's better. LOPE, Grand Canyon Education. Close under the 200, close back over the 200. Let's look at the weekly. Holding the 50, it's okay, but it only trades 275,000 shares. I don't like that. That's not enough liquidity for me. H is Hyatt Hotels. Rejected the 200 or the 100-day moving average, but that's not enough for me. If we were at the confluence with the 30 RSI, then yes. But ATVI, Activision, I don't see anything there that I'm interested in. Nectar, wow, big day on Nectar, but you know, close under the 200, close back over, that's all great, but just the risk to reward is all skewed up. The risk to reward is all skewed up, so that doesn't make sense. ZBRA, higher low V1, only 205,000 shares. And PI, higher low V2, which I like, but I don't like this big down bar. I don't like that MACD is negative, and I really don't like that there's only 68,000 shares traded. So the ones I like better over here. Oh, let's take a look at Bitcoin too. Bitcoin, do we have the 520 crossover? 56.5, 56.3. So if you guys are Bitcoiners, any of you guys and girls are Bitcoiners out there, it looks like this is a valid 520 crossover today. And here's a high with two lower highs to the left. Here's a high with two lower highs to the right, which would be a fractal as well, along with the sideways motion and the trigger. You could have two triggers at once. You could have sideways motion, fractal trigger, along with a 520 crossover. So that could be interesting. So IWM 520 crossover, but that doesn't really back test well. So I think I'm going to not take IWM. Netflix, you know, not bad. It's a very good risk to reward ratio on Netflix. We have the 200-day above. Let's look over on the weekly and see what that looks like. Holding the 50 SMA. So that's decent. So take another look at that. The Qs do not have the crossover yet, so I'm going to move that over here. Love for Southwest Airlines. False breakout to the downside and a V2. It's off of its highs today, but again, let's look at the weekly. Little high on the weekly for me, and it looks like it's losing the 5 EMA. So I'm going to put that one off to the side. I'm going to just keep narrowing these things down. Uber. I feel like we're going down and testing that 50-day moving average down there. And if that's the case, I mean, it is holding the 200. Is it? It's right at the 200. Rejected the third ATR channel, down on the up day. So, okay, I'm getting rid of Uber. Well, I'm narrowing these down pretty well. Shop, under 200, over 200. Weekly did bounce off the 50-day moving average, a 50-week moving average, which is good. So, where did my pen go? Oh, here we go. So Shopify looks okay. I mean, it doesn't look great from a price action standpoint, but it is holding that 200, which is good. And then on the weekly, we held the 50-week moving average, which makes me like that one better. And then NIO, I like the upward sloping 200-day moving average. Who knows if that's going to hold, though? If we move up to the monthly on Shopify, it did hold the 10 EMA on the month. Did hold the 50 on the weekly. And it is holding the 200 on the daily. Let's run through that same scenario with Netflix. Netflix is holding the 10 on the month. Right there, holding support on the week and the 50. And the under 200 over, under 250 over 250 does back test well also. All right. I either like Netflix or I like Shop the best. Jatin is here. Nice to see you, sir. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for coming. Hello, good afternoon. Sorry to be late. No problem. No problem, Jatin. Better late than never. And thank you for saying hello. Okay. Netflix and Shop. That's what I have to narrow this down to. I'm not going to take them both. Under 200, over 200 on the plus side, rejected the 10 EMA on the minus side. On the weekly, we're holding the 50 week. We did bounce at the -1 ATR channel. Shopify has a 520 crossover on the week, but it's also holding here. Kind of rejecting the -1 ATR channel. I think I like Netflix the best, to be honest with you. I think I like Netflix the best. I want to share a trade with you on the 1 hour chart on Bitcoin. I'm trading Bitcoin right now, helping a friend, but we had this big move up here. This is on the 1 hour chart. We had this big move up over the 200-day moving average. When we pulled back and held the 1 ATR channel, which was very close to halfway of the bar, that's where I bought it. I bought it at about 57,000. Moved up strongly. Of course, I took profits like I always do. Then we rejected the third ATR channel, which 92% of prices failed there and had a V1, so I got out right there. But it was worth a couple thousand points on Bitcoin. So, whether you're trading Bitcoin or IBM, it's pretty much the same. If you're using good trading principles, having a good trading strategy, it should work on any stock symbol, any commodity, any future, any ticker basically, and any time frame. So I'm going to go with Netflix because we have not rejected the 1 ATR channel yet, and Shopify did reject it. It was above, now it's below. I mean, it's stuck in the purgatory there. We'll see how it ends up. Microsoft well off of its high on the day. I may have to check that, 52.35, so we're okay there. All right, Goldman Sachs doing great. Gary says, hello, Greg and group. Happy Friday. Better late than never. Absolutely, Gary. Good to see you. And I am going to grab a drink real quick. Be right back. Okay. Well, my two choices are between Netflix and Shopify. I'm leaning towards Netflix, but No really strong feelings, to be honest with you. I mean, it is a good risk to reward ratio, but I don't know. My spidey sense is telling me that I'm trying to kind of make this trade. It is legit. I mean, there's no doubt it is legit. Netflix only up, less than 1% on a day like today. We're right back into the resistance right here. I don't know. Honestly, I think if I have to be honest, I'm not super thrilled about either of those. I think I'm gonna pass, actually. Ava, hi Ava, nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice day. Ava says hi Greg and all. Good to see you, Ava. Gary says have to exit pets today at break even with the big bearish bar. Very good. Exiting a trade at even, I think, is a sign of really good trading maturity, Gary, and I know that you have that. Ava says, GDX weekly chart peaking above. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I had some weekly charts that I forgot to look at. So GDX doing well, weekly peaking above. Yeah, you could use the 50-week moving average there as the stop if you want to have a good risk to reward ratio. Thank you for sharing that. I do have some weekly potential trades as well. There's a V2 here on Merck, false breakout to the downside with the V2. I kind of don't like the risk to reward. Nike has a 520 crossover, 134.67 to 134.45. So this looks pretty good as well. PKI, I like PKI the best. I like the bullish engulfing bar. I like the fractal. I like the 520 crossover. That's going to be my favorite one on the day, actually. So I'm not going to take a daily, but I am going to take PKI on this particular weekly chart. Thank you, Ava, for reminding me of that. I would not have remembered. I'm not in the mode as much as I need to be as when it comes to weeklies because I'm not used to it. But it is Friday, so it is the time to do weeklies. And I also had VIX on here as well, but I was looking for an under 30, over 30, not quite there yet. So PKI on the weekly is what I'm going to be looking at. Okay. PCAR. That looks pretty good, David. That actually looks really good. False breakout to the downside. Technically, it's a V1. See, today we go underneath. It kind of looks like a V2 if you just first looked at it. But yes, let's look at the monthly above it. Had support at the 1 ATR channel on the month. I like it a lot. Under 50, over 50, bullish engulfing bar, false breakout to the downside, V1. I like it a lot, David. Yep, I really do. All right, so I'm taking a weekly trade on PKI with 520 crossover, bullish engulfing bar, higher low V1, and fractal. And again, a fractal is when you have a high with two lower highs to the left and two lower highs to the right, which is exactly what you have here. So fractal buyers would have bought here. Crossover buyers would have bought here. Also, you have a bullish engulfing bar there. So yeah, that all makes sense. It's a little high on the daily. I'm aware of that. But I'll be buying fewer shares because I'm taking my maximum allowed loss dividing by the value of the 2 ATR on the weekly, right? And so I'll have fewer shares, but I also have quite a bit more breathing room as far as what my stop is going to be. If I get a close below both the 5 and the 20, I'll sell half. If the 5 crosses under, I'll sell the rest. But this is a very bullish bar with a lot of volume. I do like that as well. All right, Steve is long INDA with the 1050 EMA crossover at 42.68. Steve is also long Angie. Oh, interesting. Okay, so with the under 30, over 30, and the rejection of the 200-day. Good, Steve. I will get those updated. Kamal wants to look at Boeing on the weekly. Not too bad, Kamal. I mean, it's 1 day of sideways motion. I like to have 2 days of sideways motion, but it is a false breakout to the downside. Is it a V1? Last week's close was 234.31, and we're 235.23. Yeah, I like it. Good risk to reward ratio. Yeah, I like that. Let's look at the weekly. Weekly's holding. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like definitely there's some momentum there. I like that. Well, Netflix and Shopify rallying a little bit harder into the close, or going up a little into the close, I should say. Shopify holding that 200. It held it last time before we had a big rally, that's for sure. Will it do it again? I don't know. But I already have Microsoft, so... And the thing is, I sold puts on Twitter, I sold puts on Apple, I sold puts on Amazon, I sold puts on Microsoft. So I didn't mention that. So I do have a lot of tech exposure because of the puts I sold. So I'm just not going to add any more. That's why I'm being a little tentative here, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and buy PKI right now on the weekly. Look at VIX, everybody. Just clobbered today. My gosh. You'd think there's no volatility in sight. As soon as I said that, VIX started moving up. All right, so I bought PKI in the weekly, and that's it. Plus my overnight SPY trade, and that will be it. Paxton says, we got an IBB yesterday with Steve. Oh, maybe that's where I got it mixed up. Okay, so I put it on the wrong one. All right. Paxton and Tracy. All right, way to go. Jatin says Google is forming a weekly hammer. Right there. Although we are at the third ATR channel, remember 92% of prices tend to stall out or go down when you get to these levels. So this is a little too chasey for me at this moment. Jackson says Dow Jones, weekly bullish. Getting stronger every week. Let's look at the Dow. Getting very strong. No doubt about it. We have 1 minute to go. Uber. Okay, I looked at Uber earlier. Oops. Where did my Uber go? Yeah, I mean, it's right there at the 200, but that's about all that it is. I like yesterday we rejected that third ATR channel as resistance above us. You could take it. It is a decent risk to reward. It's not up a whole lot, 42 cents on a day when the market is really up. So that's a little concerning, Mamal. But those are my thoughts on it right there. All right. Market is closed for a couple days, thankfully. All right. So, where did I get filled today on all this stuff? All right, SPY. I got filled at 422.12. And PKI, I got filled at 141.02. All right. So on SPY, for the overnight SPY trade, I got filled at 422.12. Oops. And we'll sell that Monday morning. And then PKI, I got filled at 141. Oh, no. Oh, no, that was right. Sorry, it's the twos that got me confused. 141.02. And that is on the weekly. So if any of my students have any updates for me as far as new positions today, go ahead, put them in the live stream and I will get them all updated. Real quick, just want to remind everybody that I do teach private one-on-one lessons in the evening time via Skype. I have a really great course. It's 15 hours one-on-one, just you and I. 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. That's where you get your 15 hours. I teach you all 5 of the stock trading strategies that I use. I can use those strategies whether the market's going up, down, sideways. I'll always have a tool that I can use. And in the course, I teach you step by step, like every single little bit of minutia that you need to be able to trade those strategies correctly. How to position size for the volatility, how to look for volatility, how to read the volatility, how many shares to buy because of the volatility, where to place your emergency stop, where to place your end of day stop, where to place your intraday profit targets, where are significant levels of resistance above you, and then how to implement a trailing stop plan. But I teach you everything. Each class, I teach you one of the strategies, and we move on to the next, teach you a new one, do a little review of the last lesson, and we do a lot of simulation trades as well. After I teach you, I just don't go, okay, do you got it? I make sure you have it, because we start doing trades where you're in the driver's seat. You're telling me where we're buying, where we're exiting, where we're taking profits. But it's really good. I mean, you get a lot of repetitions under your belt as far as how to really trade these approaches. So the course costs $1,750, but I think it's worth every penny. The approaches that I use are very good. I've been using them for a long time, and you get the personal attention, right, of one-on-one teacher. So if you're interested, you can send me an email send me an email. The link is in the description of this video. And if you do, just say, Greg, I'm possibly interested in taking your one-on-one course. I'll write back and say, that's fantastic. Let's set up a Skype call. Skype call is free, 100% free. And I just want to learn more about you and your trading, see if you have any questions for me, find out about your goals and your challenges. And then when you're done with the call, you can think about it as long as you like. And if you decide in the future that, no, I'm going to take that course with Greg, just send me an email, say, let's get going, and I'll say, great, let's get going. Number two, I do have a new course that's an online course that's available on udemy.com. It's called the Deep Dip Buy Stock Trading Strategy. I use that approach all the time. And in that course, I will teach you step by step exactly how to trade that. It's 9.5 hours. It's 26 videos, 15 study guides, and I've got so many good reviews and so much good feedback on that course. And the best thing is it's somewhere between $12 and $15 on Udemy. So do yourself a favor, go get it on Udemy, watch it over the weekend. I know it's going to make you be a better trader. And then lastly, if you like today's podcast and it was helpful for you in any way, I really would appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It really does help to build the channel, keep the channel around, and let YouTube know that there's some valuable content here. All right, so let's take a look here. Steve had some trades. Where did they go? Oh, okay, here we go. INDA, INDA 4268 with the 1050 crossover, 1050 EMA. So Steve bought this at 4268. Steve, the 1050 EMA cross. Okay, got you down on that, Steve. Angie, ANGI. Steve also bought that with the confluence of the 30 RSI and the 250-day and the negative third ATR. Channel rejection. Great risk to reward there, Steve. Steve is in at, doesn't say. All right, so I'm going to just go here right about the close, Steve, unless you want to update me on that, because I don't see a price. So I'll just put Steve here. Okay, Kamal is in Uber. Great risk to reward ratio for that trade. right, so Kamal is in. Oh, 48.20. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's from earlier. That's from earlier, but it did hold. Okay. In BA, that's AB, BA, 231.80. Oh, nice. Good job, Kamal. 231.80. And Shopify. I kind of thought you might. $1,108. Okay, there we go. All right, David is in PCAR. I like that trade on the weekly. Yep, I like that a lot. And PKI. Frank is in shop along with Kamal. Lova said, what's the concept that makes fractal a good thing? I have a video in my lessons list, Lova. I really can't explain it right now, but it's about an hour video. It's in the lessons playlist, talks about fractals. That will explain everything. But it's something that happens in nature. It's very similar to kind of like Fibonacci numbers, fractal ratios. So there is a video there, bud, just in the lessons playlist. Just go in there, watch it, and I think that will help you understand. That's a pretty good video. I think it's pretty lengthy. All right, Gary, out at break even on pets. Has a lot to do with rivers. I'll give you that little teaser. Jatson says, God bless you, sir, for being so kind to us and all your contributions towards teaching us. Have a great weekend. Well, that's very kind of you, Jatson. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that, sir. Come back and see us next week. Gary says, I have a put spread on BA from last week, Greg. I think he deleted it when Kamal sold his position. Oh, okay. Gary, do you want to give me the particulars on that put spread? Again, sorry. Oh, Gary's in half Uber. 1/2 position. And Gary, if you are out there and if you have those specs on your puts, let me know. Lova says, I didn't realize there was a video there that I hadn't watched. I'm excited to watch it now. Here, let me see if I can find it for you right here, bud. Let me see if I can find it for you. There we go. All right. Here you go, Lova. This is the link. This is the fractal link. David says, Greg, thank you for your guidance. As always, have a great weekend. All. You as well. Yeah, I hope everyone has a nice Mother's Day. Take your mother out. Take her to lunch or brunch or whatever people do on Mother's Day. Mothers put a lot of work into us. You know, I sure miss my mother. She passed away many, many years ago, but there's not a day that I don't think of her and appreciate what she did for me. So if your mother is still with us, give her a call. Tell her how much you love her and tell her that you appreciate all the things she's done for you. And Mother's Day should be every day because it is a tough, tough job. But I hope you have a nice Mother's Day out there for sure. All right, so let's say, okay, so this is Gary. And Gary sold put spreads for $108 a contract. He sold at 210, 220s. Expiring May 21st. All right, so he's got a couple weeks to hold above $210. So it's got about $25 in protection. That looks good. That looks good. And Kamal bought that on the weekly. So let me notate this. All right. Good. Done and done. So listen, everybody, before we get on with the Mother's Day weekend, just want to read this quickly. If we all do one random act of kindness daily, we just might set the world in the right direction. This is by Martin Kornfeld. I read it every day, but it's still important. Let's go out, do something nice for somebody today. One random act of kindness really would make this world a better place if we could do it every day for another human being. And if we could also go out, be kind, and do a nice act of kindness for an animal as well. They will appreciate it just like the human. It will make all of you feel better. So I'll just leave you off with that. And if anybody has any other questions, this is the time. Frank says, who could forget Professor Mandelbrot? That's right. That's what the fractals are about. And as a matter of fact, I pointed this out to Kamal earlier in the day when it was happening, and that's why I have this line here. But look, here's a fractal. Here's a high point, 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. The buy signal would be when you trigger the fractal in the future. So here's the high point. This bar in the future triggered it. The best fractals come when you have sideways motion, which it did. And, you know, there was definitely tradable money to be made there. I watched this in real time. So anyway, I do like fractals. I don't talk a lot about them. I'll try to mention them more as I see them. All right. Well, listen, have a good weekend. Call your mother, tell her you love her, tell her you appreciate everything that she has done for you. Go out, get some fresh air, maybe read one of Steve Burns' books, maybe watch my Udemy course, maybe just do your own chart study. But be good, be kind, be safe, drive safe, And I hope to see everybody Monday during the last hour of the market. Miko says, thanks, Craig. Have a great weekend. You too. Thanks, everybody. Take care now. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.